Reb Chaim Zaid said that he went to Rishon LeZion. He got the address. He knocks on the door of this guy's mother. He knocks on the door. She opens the door. And he tells her, Reb Chaim Zaid, your son sent me here. I want to hear the miracle, the nes that just happened after the word that your son is talking about. She tells him, Beseder, come. She comes. He sits down on the couch. She gives him, he said, coffee. She gives him cookies. And she tells him, me and my husband are not religious. We're not from. We have one son. His name is Itzik. That's a soldier, Itzik. Now really the laws in Israel, if you're an only son, if you're a ben yachid, the law is you don't have to go to the army. Because if you're an only son, then the tragedy, the chasr, could be even worse. So the law is, they don't draft you if you're an only son. But Itzik wanted to go anyways. He wanted to help out. So he went to the war. The day that he got drafted and he went to Gaza, his mother said she was freaking out. She couldn't sleep at night. She was moving and tossing in bed. What did she do? She said she decided she's going to take a walk. She said she went with her pajamas and her robe. She went outside her apartment in Rishon LeZion. She's just going to take a walk to chill. This is what she tells the rabbi. As she's walking, she sees in the corner of her block, there's a shul, a small shul, a small Bet HaKnesset synagogue. She sees the lights are on in the middle of the night. She's wondering who's there in the middle of the night. She goes in. She sees a guy sitting on the floor, tzaddik, saying Tikkun Chatzot, crying about the Bet HaMikdash in the middle of the night. Crying about the special prayer we say for crying of the Bet HaMikdash to be rebuilt b'Ezrat Hashem. So this guy was sitting on the floor saying Tikkun Chatzot. She goes over to him and she tells him the story how her son right now is in Gaza and she's worried. The guy tells her, what do you want me to tell you? How do you want me to help you? She tells him, no, atata azor, you help me out. Something with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. He tells her, okay, tavi sidul, bring a sitter. She brought him a sidul. Which sidul? The white Avodat Hashem sidul. He opens up the sidul and he said, whatever it's going to open up to, we're going to take it as a remez, as a sign. This is what you should do for Kadosh Baruch Hu. He opens up the sitter. What does it end up on? Zmirot leShabbat Kodesh, the songs for Shabbat by the meal. Which song does it land on? Ki yeshmera Shabbat ken yishmereni. He tells her, do you keep Shabbat? No, I don't keep Shabbat. This is what the Siddur opened up to. Ki eshmera Shabbat. When you keep Shabbat, Hashem will protect you. Hashem will watch over you. He closes the Siddur. The wife walks home. Her husband is bugging out by the entrance of the door. Where in the world did his wife go? Goes on a walk in the middle of the night. She tells him, I just met a rabbi. I want to have a talk with you. And she told the guy, it's going to be very hard to convince my husband because he smokes also. She tried to convince her husband and she told him, we have to do it for our son. She convinced him. He agreed to keep Shabbat, not the whole thing, only 3 hours. Give me only 3 hours of Shabbat. Okay. She goes back to the rabbi the next day. She goes to the person who told her to keep Shabbat. And she said, my husband agreed to 3 hours. He told, listen, either you keep Shabbat or not. I'm not like Gdol Hadol to tell you you're allowed to keep 3 hours. That already have to go to a big rabbi and I'll help you out. They went to Rabbi Yitzchak Zilberstein in Bnei Brak and they asked him, can this couple take upon themselves 3 hours of Shabbat? Are we allowed to do that? He said, of course. If that's what they can do, they're able to keep 3 hours. Which 3 hours of Shabbat? The beginning of Shabbat, Friday night. Right when Shabbat starts, by candle lighting, first 3 hours. After 3 hours, make Havdalah, Shabbat is over for you. Shabbat is over. And that's what they did. That week, they kept Shabbat, they got ready, they said they went shopping, it was a whole situation, shopping for Shabbat, and they kept the first 3 hours. And she said the first 3 hours Friday night was murder for her husband not to smoke, for them not to go on their phones, not to turn on the TV. And she said that they got so bored that they started talking so much that they started talking about their early childhood and they started dating. And they started saying, oh wow, you actually are a good wife, oh, you're actually a good husband. They actually had a conversation. Motzei Shabbat, Rabotai, for those who remember right after the war, I remember this, right when we entered Gaza, like the first week. Unfortunately, Hamas threw an RPG onto a tank, IDF tank. Most of the people on the tank passed away. It was right away like the first Shabbat, except one person. Who's that person that survived? Itzik, their son. When did the attack happen? When did the RPG been blown into the tank? Friday night, the first 3 hours of Shabbat they kept. You hear this? First 3 hours they kept. That's when they attacked the tank. And the mother told Reb Chaim Zaid, since then, she keeps the whole Shabbat. And she makes it a priority. She's like an older Moroccan lady. She makes it a priority to go spread the sinyan of Shabbat as much as possible. She like screams at people, keep Shabbat, keep Shabbat. Look what happened to my son Itzik. Oh, but that's a tremendous story. You know what lesson I got from that story? If 3 hours can do so much, then who knows how much we did all the Shabbatot that we kept our whole lives. If 3 hours of people who never kept Shabbat brought so much beracha and blessings and shmirah to them, then Rabotai, who knows how wealthy we are for keeping Shabbatot for so many years, how much beracha we brought to the world. But what happens? We don't have the right glasses to see the shefa, to see the beracha. But it makes a tremendous difference. If 3 hours made a world of a difference, wow, how much blessings a person brings to the world when he keeps Shabbat again and again and again and again. And for many years, who knows how much lives were saved? Who knows how much health came to the world just from us keeping Shabbat, how much beracha it brings to the world?